All right, adventurers, today we're tackling a big one, the wave.
That's right. This iconic sandstone formation in Arizona, it's on a lot of hiking bucket lists.
And for good reason. Imagine, like, vibrant swirls of sandstone, a photographer's dream.
hmm
But getting there, that's the tricky part.
Yeah, there's that lottery for permits.
And the odds, well, let's just say they're not exactly in your favor. But that's why we're doing this deep dive. We're going to break it all down using this blog post as our guide, the Wave Lottery Guide to the Permit and the Wave Hike.
Think of us as your guides. This blogger spent years trying to win this thing, so we're tapping into their knowledge.
Exactly. All right, so first things first. The blog mentions a pretty big change to how the lottery works. Remember the old walk-in lottery at the BLM office in Kanab?
Yeah. It's a whole new world. Now it's all about, get this, geofencing. Sounds very high-tech.
Yeah, a little bit. So no more like last-minute dashes to the BLM office. You actually have to be near the wave to even try your luck.
Exactly. Within a specific geographic area. And here's the thing. You got to use a mobile device, location services on, to even apply. The system actually checks.
Wow, so how does that even work? Like, are we talking a few miles from the wave? A few hundred feet?
Good question. The blog doesn't get that specific, but basically you got to be close enough that you could realistically start your hike that day if you win.
Wow, okay, so it's like a whole new layer of strategy to even enter this lottery. So walk us through it. What are the options?
You've got two paths. The daily geofencing lottery, the one we were just talking about, and then there's the advanced online lottery. Both you use recreation.gov, but the timing, that's different.
Okay, let's break them down. One by one, what's the deal with this daily lottery?
So say you're aiming to hike on a Wednesday. You need to apply through the app on Monday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Mountain Time, no exceptions.
Okay, got to be on top of it.
Yeah, and then you find out if you've won later that day.
So it is same-day notification.
Yep, notifications go out around 7:15 p.m. that evening. But here's the thing, even if you win this daily lottery, you're not out of the woods yet.
There's always a catch. What else we got?
You got to be ready to pay for that permit by 8 a.m. the next morning, and you have to go pick it up in person.
So they don't just, like, email it to you?
Nope. They have pickup locations in Kanab, Utah, and Page, Arizona.
Oh, okay, so two different states. Don't want to get those mixed up.
And don't forget about that time zone difference, especially if you're, celebrating your win the night before.
No sleeping in, even on vacation.
Not if you want to hike the wave. But if you're, a planner, more of a plan-ahead type person, the advanced online lottery, that might be more your style.
Okay, yeah. Tell us more about that. How far in advance are we talking here?
So this one, it opens 4 months before your target month. Dreaming of a July hike? You'd be applying anytime during March.
Okay, got it. So I've got all of March to get that application in for July. But here's a thought. Could I, submit an entry every single day in March? Would that increase my chances?
I like the way you think, but no. Unfortunately, only one application per month per person. Doesn't matter if you're going for the online lottery or the in-person one. And this is where choosing your hiking buddies gets tricky too.
Oh, how so?
If you list someone as an alternate on your application, they can't apply that month, not even as a group leader themselves.
It's like strategic friend picking for hikers.
Right. High stakes.
Okay, so I've got my hiking buddy. We've submitted our one precious application. What happens next? Just cross my fingers and wait.
Pretty much. The drawing, it happens on the first of the month, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Then the waiting game begins.
And with these odds, like we said, it's some serious nail-biting time.
Definitely. Managing those expectations, that's key. But that's why we're going through these tips, right? This blogger, like I said, years trying to win. So they've got some wisdom to share.
Yeah, spill the secrets. What can we do to up our chances?
Okay, first up, and I cannot stress this enough, flexibility is key. Remember how you can pick 3 different dates on that application? Don't limit yourself to just one weekend. Everyone and their dog wants to hike on a Saturday.
Weekdays have got to be less competitive.
Exactly. And don't discount the shoulder seasons. December to February, they get less traffic, but you might run into some snow on the trail.
So we're talking May, October, those sweet spots between peak season and, blizzard conditions.
Exactly. But even with the best planning, there's still that element of chance, right? It's a lottery after all. The blogger talks about people winning on their first try and others, like I said, years.
Yeah, got to play to win. But it sounds like smart planning can seriously increase your chances.
Absolutely. You know what they say? The harder I work,
the luckier I get.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say through a combination of skill, strategy, and a little bit of luck, we snag a permit The adventure's just beginning at that point, right?
Oh, for sure. This is not your average walk in the park. And this blogger, they emphasize how important it is to be prepared, even if you're a seasoned hiker.
Okay, so for those of us picturing, a leisurely stroll through some pretty rock formations, what should we really be prepared for? Paint us a picture.
Okay, so you're in the desert, surrounded by these incredible otherworldly sandstone formations, right? It's gorgeous, but it's also remote. Exposed.
Sounds amazing, but maybe a little intimidating too. What are some of the, actual challenges that we need to be ready for?
The biggest one, there are no marked trails. The author really, really stresses this. Strong navigation skills, not optional. Map, compass, GPS.
Wow, no marked trails. Okay.
Yeah, it's part of what makes it so special.
Right, discovering your own way.
But it means you have to be extra prepared. Download those offline maps, familiarize yourself with the route before you even set foot out there.
Okay, navigation, check. What about the actual, physical challenge of this hike? How tough are we talking?
The blog describes it as strenuous, and for good reason. It's about 6.5 miles round trip, some elevation gains, some sandy stretches, but the real challenge, the heat.
Yeah, desert. Can't forget about that.
Right. And the author recommends a gallon of water per person, and that is not a typo.
A gallon.
A gallon of water.
Sure.
Don't skimp on the snacks either. High protein, salty stuff to keep that energy up.
Wow, okay. No cute little, hydration packs for this one. Like a whole backpack just for water. And on a more serious note, it sounds like this blog, it's not just giving, nice-to-know tips. It's really, crucial advice.
Yeah, for sure. They talk about recognizing signs of heat exhaustion, dehydration,
Yeah.
even hypothermia.
Hypothermia in the desert.
It sounds weird, right?
Yeah.
But it can happen,
Yeah.
especially if you get caught out after dark. Desert temperatures, they plummet at night.
Okay, good to know. Safety first. Always. But, let's be real. Sometimes those lottery odds, they just don't go your way. So what happens if we strike out?
Well, you can't win them all.
Yeah.
Right. But the good news is, this blog, it doesn't leave you hanging if you don't get a permit.
Okay, there's a plan B.
There's totally a plan B. The area around the wave, full of incredible hikes. The blog actually mentions a few kind of under-the-radar spots.
Spill the beans. What are these alternative hikes?
So one that caught my eye was Coyote Butte South. Same general area as the wave, but different permit system, way fewer crowds.
Less competition. Okay, I'm interested. What's the hiking like there?
Incredible views, those unique rock formations, but instead of the big wave-like formations that the wave is famous for, Coyote Butte South, it's got these teepees, tall, skinny spires of rock. And because it's less crowded, you're more likely to have those views all to yourself.
Okay, that's going on the list. What other hidden gems are we talking about?
Another one, Buckskin Gulch. It's one of the longest slot canyons in the world. Imagine hiking through these narrow sandstone walls, sunlight filtering in. Super cool.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds incredible. I love how this deep dive, it's not just about one specific hike. It's opening up this whole region.
Right. And it's important as more people find out about these amazing places to be mindful of our impact. The blog talks about this balance, sharing these natural wonders, but also protecting them.
For sure. Okay, so listeners, you're well on your way to becoming wave lottery experts. Flexibility is key. Remember that. Aim for those shoulder seasons, weekdays, and don't forget about those 3 different date choices on the application.
And be prepared. This is a challenging hike, but so worth it. Download those maps, pack that gallon of water. You got this.
We want to hear all about your adventures. Whether you snag that wave permit or you discover one of those hidden gems, let us know. Until next time, happy hiking, everyone.